And I remember bits and pieces of a dream. In the dream, the vibe was real homeless or transitional, right? And in the dream, there was like this long, long country road. Not Valdosta, but it was somewhere else. And it was a really long country road. And on that long country road, there was like, I don't know, maybe a Family Dollar, a Save a Lot, some other kind of store. But outside of that, there was nothing but woods all the way down. And a big long stretch of, I guess, highway or a road. And in the dream, I was coming from one Family Dollar. I was looking for something that wasn't there, so I walked further down the street. And further down the street, maybe a half a mile or so, there was like the 3 stores that I mentioned. And then after that, there was a few more miles, right? So I got to the second store. I didn't go to Family Dollar. It was whatever store. It might have been Save. And in the lobby, in that particular store, in my dream, there was a lobby area. Like when you walk into a grocery store, but there were chairs there where people could sit. And it appeared to me that there were like street people, not necessarily homeless, but street people. Like, you know, if there's a real bad neighborhood and they're always like in the streets. And there were girls there. And there was one guy there, an older guy. And the girl, there was a younger girl, maybe 15 or 16, that was sitting at the other end at first. Somehow she migrated to over where I was. And she sat in the chair right next to me. And each chair had like a little cup holder. And in the dream, and this is probably what made it really homeless, like people had snacks, like from, looked like it may have been like a snack pack. You know how they have a mix of like cut up cheese and Slim Sticks or whatever. And when they finished the snack pack, though, there was one guy that was an older guy, maybe 35 to 45. Listen to me, older. And he had like a big block of cheese. Not the regular 8 ounce, but it was like a square block of cheese, but it wasn't like the big 10-pound block of government cheese, if y'all remember that. And he had a knife and he was cutting it into like sticks, into cheese sticks, and then dicing them into squares and making his own little snack packs. Then the girl that I was telling you about, she seemed like she was really, really skinny, but her attitude made it seem like she was older. Very dark skin, black, short afro hair. Like she probably normally wear braids or something, but she just didn't have them. And in the little side cup, she put her little cheese sticks, which hadn't been diced. And at first it was cheese sticks, but then it turned into chalk, right? And she had like different colors chalk, like blue, yellow, orange. And then she moved to the other side. At one point, she sat on my lap, and then she moved to the other side, and then she was looking through her chalks that she had in her hand. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she says, "I'm missing one." And I was like, "No, it's right here." She was like, "No, not that one, you know." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I don't remember everything, but then I'm recording this dream because, like I said, these are the types of dreams that sometimes I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know, because I don't. But it had so many details. It's what's making me record it. Just like the dream that I had about the boy in the white van or whatever. Um, I disregarded that because it was so short. But this one has a lot of details. But none of these things, like I said, right now, have a meaning to me. None of these people, situations, or circumstances look familiar. Except the fact that, you know, right now I have like a homeless vibe. I'm feeling that for some reason. And I think it's because, like I said, the she shed is looking crazy and I need to get it together. But, and I'm going to do that today. But, so there was another part of the dream. I don't know if it came before or after, but it was more urban. It was almost like the projects that I grew up in. And I was sitting, I think, kind of in the front rooms like I am now. I'm sitting in the front rooms and I had a window unit AC, but I was sitting there and all of a sudden I was like, what's that noise? And it had turned on and I had unplugged everything and disconnected everything. I didn't get it. So I went and turned it back off. I went back, sat in the chair, and somehow some way in this dream, it got to something where you could see, like the first floor, like I said, reminded me of the Pine Chapel Village. Then I was up on the third floor. There were stories that went up. So the third floor was the highest, and there were men. I say men, I mean really boys. They're like 18 to 25. Like they be in the hood, white t-shirts, whatever. And for some reason, occasionally there would be one in there, but when they came in, it was no longer like my domain. It was more like public domain. And for some reason, it was like, on TikTok, there's this sound, and I probably shouldn't repeat it here. But it's like, come here, bring that something, something here. Come here, bring that something, something here. And so the dream, it was like that. There was some guy, and that song was playfully going on in my mind, and there was some type of laissez-faire communication or interaction. It's like we were aware of each other, somehow close to each other, but mentally and verbally not, but not physically on each other. It's like that type of tension where you're there and your vibes and energies are mixing, but you're not intentionally doing that and not cognizantly doing that. It's just naturally what it is, but nothing big there. And I think after that's when I went to the country road. Like I said, this dream doesn't mean a whole lot or make much sense right now. It has a lot of different little pieces in it, but I know that a week down the road or 2 weeks down the road, it's going to make a lot of sense. And something happened yesterday that, again, in real life, something happened yesterday that meant nothing to me at the time, and I couldn't pay any attention to it because it was no need for me. It's nothing I could do with that information. I happened to be outside doing yard work. I overheard some guy like 3 houses down, say something about, he mentioned a name that I recognized. And it seemed like he mentioned it when he saw me, but he didn't expect me to really hear it because they probably been talking loud the whole time, but I heard it. And something about my body language must have showed that I heard it. So I'm expecting that somewhere down the line in a couple of weeks, I'm going to hear something about that. And I think somehow it's going to correlate to my dream. I don't know how. But I think everything is for the good. So that's what it is. But that's my dream. I'm just posting it here because that's what I do. Typical Maria style. It's not really, this post is not really for everybody, for everybody else. It's for me, just to log my dream. But anyways, good morning. Have a great day. Hey, good morning, London Bully. Anyways, bye everybody, and good morning. I usually wait until after I talk so I can look and see if there's any comments or anything, just because it helps me keep my train of thought, because sometimes people will say things that are so disruptive. But yeah, good morning.